Hey guys, this is Jim, WT1W, and you're watching FEP Labs Radio. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. So in this video, I wanted to kind of go through a few things with WPSD, and this would also work for Pi-Star, either one. I'm using WPSD. So I've had several comments on videos about, you're talking about Brandmeister, how do you connect to other DMR networks? And the answer is it's pretty simple. So let's dive into that and take a look. So WPSD, and when I say that, Pi-Star, and if I use them interchangeably, just go with it, support multiple DMR networks. Now, the methodology, the way they do it's a little different. Again, I'm using WPSD, so that's what we're going to look at today. So let's jump in the admin page here. This is my active, already working DMR hotspot here. And you can see that we have some managers lit up that are not normally lit up. We have Brandmeister and TGIF. Now, I've already done this, but we're going to walk through what all you need to do. The first thing you want to do, if you have a DMR network set up already, you just want to go to DMR Network Manager, and we can go there, and from there we can set up other DMR networks if you have them already set up. So here you can see that I have three choices now. I have Brandmeister 3102, I have DMR Plus, and I have the TGIF network. So we can disable or enable any of the multiple networks we have connected via the DMR Network Manager. And down here in the lower right corner of the screen, you can see that we have DMR masters, three of them, Brandmeister, DMR Plus, and TGIF. So how did I add those in there? We're going to go to configuration, and then we scroll down, and of course we have DMR enabled. And then we get to our network settings under DMR. Now, this is a bit of a two-step process. You'll have to turn on DMR before you see all the DMR related things available. So previously, I think I had turned on Brandmeister and got it set up, and there it is. It's still set up, and the green slider indicates it's turned on. Since then, I played with DMR Plus and added it and turned it on. I'm not actually using this, but I got it enabled. And that was a simple matter of telling it to turn it on. Some of these other ones I have not tinkered with yet. System X, I have not messed with. TGIF, I have. So TGIF, to set that up, because they use a security key, you have to go create an account on their website. And we're going to look at that in a second. And other than that, it's turning it on after you create that security code, after you've created your account on TGIF network. You have to use a 5 for a talk group prefix, that's so that you don't collide with Brandmeister, DMR Plus, etc., etc. So that is how you enable it. Once you turn on the networks you want, you just simply apply the settings. If I wanted to turn on System X out of the United States, you see I get the Apply Changes thing, and here I would hit Apply Changes, and I would connect to System X. I know nothing about it, so we're going to not make that change. We'll just leave that. So we've got it. We want to turn on TGIF, for example, and that seems to be a pretty popular DMR network right behind Brandmeister. So you go to the TGIF.network page. All right. Now, once you get there, you're going to have to create an account. And I'm not going to walk through creating an account. Y'all are grown-ups. You can figure out how to create an account. It'll want your call sign, email address, all that kind of normal data that these guys ask for. And then it'll verify your account setup with an email that you have to click a link, and then you are in. So if we go look at our account, we can change the theme of the web page. We can change our profile settings, which is that data that it asks for. So I can update this a little bit, 32.1 minus 86.3. And I will update that profile. If I change my call sign, I can do it right here. And this is on the TGIF network website. So here we have change email address, change password, self-care, and user security. So we're going to go look at all those. You can get there via this menu as well. If we go to self-care, that shows us our information on our particular hotspot that's set up. And we can change things here, time slots, disconnect groups, all that kind of stuff. I have not fooled with TGIF beyond getting it set up. So I'm not really entirely sure what all that will do for us. This one is user security. I'm going to have to blank that part out because y'all don't need to see my keys. But once you have your account on TGIF, it's going to link, because of your call sign, it will link your DMR IDs. So this is something that's not being used at the moment, and this is my current DMR ID, 3152157. And if you could see it, you would see a hexadecimal security key down here. And we can regenerate these, or we can simply copy them, and then we have to put them back over here in WPSD when we set up our TGIF setting. And that's where that security goes, security code goes, security key, whatever you want to call it, in that field right there. So once that's done, then your hotspot will connect to the TGIF network. And as I said, the procedure is somewhat similar for all these networks. I haven't seen anything that's really abnormal. We could connect to Toads this way through DMR, through the XLX network. That would actually allow us to connect to the Toads XLX 546A reflector. So that's it. That's what you need to do to add other networks. Just you're going to walk through whatever the procedure is for a specific network. So options on System X, I don't know because I've never set it up. Here's a button that says Options Generator, and that takes us to a web page which will load eventually. And here's what all the information for setting up options on the System X Freestar network. And a lot of this stuff is the same kind of deal that you'll see on Brandmeister or TGIF. If we go back to the TGIF page, we can monitor active talk groups. We can look for active talk groups. And this will show us the talk group numbers as well as who the last heard on that particular talk group was and the name of the talk group, so on and so forth. We can search here. For example, we're not going to find Toads because Toads is not linked to TGIF. Nothing against TGIF, just never linked to it. So you could find something that if you're interested in Scottish talk groups, let's see, Scott. Nope, they're not on the busy list. But apparently the Rhode Island digital link is pretty active. And you can see as people key and unkey on these networks that their little call sign turns green as they're keying up. So that's pretty neat. You can look at the last heard, and this will be an active list that shows you what talk group was on, who talked on it, what the name of it was, the call sign, etc., the time, some signal information for some of them apparently. So that's pretty neat. Here's a list of all the talk groups on TGIF with the talk group ID and the name of it, the country that it's located in, and so forth. It appears there are 1,675 talk groups on TGIF. So again, this is just a worldwide. The same kind of setup is for DMR Plus. You got to go here and it has the information for configuring it. This is not the DMR Plus website specifically. It's just the first link that came up with how to configure Pi-Star for it. Again, it's the same kind of procedure. Pi-Star goes about it a little bit differently, but you see the idea there. And that's pretty much it. This allows you to connect to multiple DMR networks at one time and change talk groups to go between those networks. So for TGIF, you're going to have to prefix a talk group number with a 5. For System X, it'll be a 4. For DMR Plus, it'll be an 8. If you're using Brandmeister, there is no prefix for that. And that's about it. I would say the one thing that I can think of is if you try to monitor multiple talk groups at one time, I think you'll make yourself crazy. But that's a whole nother video. Guys, that's all I've got in this one. Hope you got something out of it. If you would, make sure you share this, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good day. 73.